tells you that even way back then, people made provisions to be buried. Did you catch it? It made provisions to be buried. All right?
Yes, sir.
Any questions before we move? Yes, sir.
Wine and myrrh. What is the myrrh?
I'll get it for you before you leave here, but I think it represented something bitter. Bitter.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions before we move? All right. I got a couple of questions for you that we're gonna take apart. And my thought tonight is, I will not cry tonight. Instead, I give thanks. And I want everybody in here to think about something that you've been praying for, or you would like to see different, or whatever. And that's my thought tonight. I will not cry tonight. Instead, I'll give God thanks. Okay? Because no matter what you're dealing with. Yes, ma'am?
I got a question before we go to that. Jesus prayed for forgiveness for those who crucified him. That was Jesus. How much weight do we carry in asking for forgiveness for someone else? I mean, can that be granted on just our asking, or?
Now, I've never seen this in the scriptures where the old preachers would preach and they would call up all of the old patriarchs like Abraham and Moses, and why they could not come and redeem man, because all of them had a fault somewhere. Jesus was pure. You follow me? But if he didn't make it to the cross, we could never get back to God. And so he said, now, and you know what? We always talk about when Saul was destroying the church. You know, he thought he was doing right.
Yep.
And when you look back in Jesus' days, people were more concerned about the law than righteousness. And they would always dealt with the law and their self-righteousness, but nothing to do with the will of God. Y'all follow what I'm saying? I'm gonna help clear this up in a minute. So my question is, what did I say? I will not cry tonight. Instead, I give thanks. Because see, you're not the only one going through. Y'all got what I'm saying? Now, this is the question I want to ask you tonight. You got faith in God?
Yes.
Come on now. You got faith in God? Okay, my question is it head faith or heart faith? That's the difference. If it's head faith, because you know in Hebrew 11 that says, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, and blessed is the man that believe and have not yet seen. It's a good head thing, but if it ain't a heart thing, it ain't gonna work for you. You follow me? I got faith in God. He gonna raise my brother up, but your brother died. What happens to the head faith when you don't receive what you're looking for? The heart faith is like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Hey, I know you're able, Jesus. If you don't, I still ain't got a problem. That's heart faith. Y'all got what I'm saying? Facing death. You follow me? But they had heart faith instead of head faith. Head faith is when you determine what God's going to do. None of us knows the mind of God. And since we don't know the mind of God, we have been disappointed. And if you keep living, you're going to get some more disappointment. Because your will says, Lord, do it for me and do it this way. And God says, not so. You understand what I'm saying? So the question is, do you have head faith or heart faith? Romans 10 and 9. Watch what the word spits out to you. Romans 10 and 9. I think it is. Romans 10 and 9. And read it out and let's see how that heart plays a part. And the heart is the chamber that carries things that the body acts out. You follow me? Sister Polite, can I tell you, it's good to pray for people, and especially when you want God to intervene in their lives. We should always do that. Why? Because we don't just have head faith, we got heart faith. Our heart faith can increase when you start looking back down the line. When you look back down the line, and sometimes you got to go way back, and you'll have to ask yourself the question, how I made it? If it had not been for the grace of God, how did I make it? You understand what I'm saying? When God kept us in all the stupid situations we've been in, when God kept us, we lived in houses that were so raggedy, you had to take poles and prop them up when storms was coming through. Or you had to run over to somebody's house who was more solid than where you were living. Y'all got what I'm saying? Whooping cough, diphtheria, polio, rheumatic fever. Wasn't no money for no doctor. So when we start looking back down the line, you can get rid of the head faith, or either take the head faith and entangle it with the heart faith, and you got something going. You understand? One more time now. Those guys, and this is what hurts me with people, will get up and make statements like they know the mind of God. I know the Lord gonna do it. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said, listen, King, you ain't got to give us no second chance. We would rather die trusting God than to live serving you. Ain't that something? We can't fall off the boat now. You fall off the boat. Well, I can only speak for me. I'm 72 years old. I fall off the boat now, I might not have time to get back up. You see what I'm saying? Might not have time to get back up. And guess who's in control of that? Me. Sometimes you got to consider what you allow yourself to do to you. Y'all follow me? Deacon Smith, he said something derogatory about me. If I don't stand God on me, he done changed me and going about his business. You understand what I'm saying? And while I'm soaking over what he said about me, he in church. I'm home.
That's right.
I ain't going back down there. Y'all will catch it in a minute. Anybody got that Romans 10 and 9 yet? Somebody read it for me. And I'm still going to say, I'm not going to cry tonight. Instead, I'm going to give thanks that things are as well as they are. Had an old lady told me one time, and she was so sincere, and she said, preacher, sometimes you rebuke the devil too quick. You ain't even know where he come from. You understand what I'm saying? If you recognize that he's there, just hold on a minute. He'll let you know what he come for. And then you got something to go with. You just automatically jump up. In the name of Jesus. In the name. You ain't even in the right spirit. Okay, let's go.
Romans 10 and 9. That if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thy heart.
Okay, so where the belief is stationed?
the heart.
Come on, one more time. Where the belief is stationed.
In the heart.
So we can quote scriptures all you want, but if we ain't got God in our heart, we in trouble. You know, do it again.
That if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thy heart that God has raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved.
Notice what's happening? Huh? If you believe in your heart, listen to me. If you believe in your heart, listen what we say. Take your burden to the Lord and do what? If you believe in your heart that he can handle it, why are you fretting? Why you got sleepless nights? And listen to me, my sisters and my brothers, because you love the Lord, let me tell you something. And you could want the best for everybody in life. But there's some situations in life you can pray, I don't care how holy and righteous you are, there are a lot of times God's going to handcuff you. Can I tell you why? Whomever you pray for can't see God because they're always seeing you. We need to let some things see God. Y'all ain't catching this. We need to let some things see God. Can we run down to the whole pen for a minute? Who that boy saw in the whole pen? Besides the hole. You see what I'm saying? And what was the first thing happened? He remembered. You see what I'm saying? He remembered. That's why I say sometimes we got to look back down the line. Lord, I sure thank you tonight. I don't never want to go back where I've been. You understand what I'm saying? And I got a few wrinkles I'm working on. But thank God I ain't got to go back where I've been. You understand what I'm saying? And thank God, if you stop by my house tonight, I ain't got to clean up. Because you'll meet me right where I'm at. If you come by and I got all the kitchen appliances in the living room, that's out of order, ain't it? Y'all slow. If I got the bedroom furniture set up in the living room, that's kind of out of order, ain't it? And I got the dining room in one of the bedrooms. That's out of order, ain't it? Okay. Jesus don't care nothing about that. He comes in, meet you where you at, and clean it up. Long as you be real. Can I run up to Mr. Zacchaeus for a minute? Notice when Jesus said, I must abide at your house, you think he had time to go clean up? When Jesus got there, he ain't asked him jack. He starts spitting it up. Lord, I robbed them people. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give them back 4 folds. If I took $25 from them, I'm going to give them back 100. That's what happens when you let him in your home, in your heart, and you are faced with the truth of God. He can bless you right there. He ain't got to be no butt on. Lord, you know my heart and none of that. If you let him in, if he knock and you open, he going to come in. If you seek him, you're going to find him. And if you ask, read the rest of that.
Verse 10. For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation.
And so when you meet Jesus, you can't stay the same. Oh, we shouldn't stay the same. Got to be a transformation that sometimes you ain't even asked for. How many of y'all choose God?
He chose you. He chose us.
Huh?
He chose us.
Okay. This is a good one right here. I don't do this no more. I don't drink no more. I don't go to clubs no more. Listen to me. It's one thing to not go to the club, but you ain't free until you get the club out your heart.
Come on.
This is why we got so many
Come on.
church folk in the club. You ain't free from the liquor until you get the liquor out your heart. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't through with malice until you get it out your what? Your heart. The mouth ain't scared of hot coffee. Anybody here drink coffee? Besides me? Your mouth ain't scared of that coffee? You know how you used to drink them when you had the hangover? Okay, come on, let's go. Y'all catching what I'm saying? That never mind the mouth. Make sure the heart is pure. If the heart is pure, it's going to guard your speech. It's going to muzzle your actions. Y'all all right? Any questions before we go? Can I get another scripture? What I was saying tonight, we ain't going to cry today. We ain't going to complain today. We just going to give thanks, right? Let's run over to Psalm 116, verse 12. And when we are looking back, this question ought to raise itself in our lives. Psalm 116, verse 12. Bishop, Bishop going to take over. Give me another reader. Bishop, one step from my jaw. Psalm 116, verse 12. All right, everybody there? I want everybody to catch this.
What should I render unto the Lord for all his benefits toward me?
Okay, now, Brother Hill's going to read it one more time, but I really want you to look at it this time. Look at it this time. Anything you got that you could complain about, and you're dropping the bucket to what he's already done for you. You see what I'm saying? What? Come on, Brother Hill.
What should I render unto the Lord?
Lord, what can I do for you? For all your benefits toward me. Not only have you blessed me, you blessed my children. You understand? You blessed my health. You follow what I'm saying? Come on, you got me clothes in my right mind. I know what day it is. All your benefits, watch this. Because I don't care who you are, there's a lot of people connected to your life. And to some of those people, you're the only Bible they're going to ever know. Lord, you've been this good to me. What can I do for you? How can I render anything to you for all your benefits toward me? When I woke up this morning, it was by your will. I made it thus far through the day because it's your will. We sometimes don't understand that death standing up over our bed at night. You're lurking around here all day. Just can't lay no hand on you without God's permission. Ain't that something? So then what shall I render unto you for all of your benefits toward me? Anybody ever had to leave home so early you got to pray in the car? You woke up just time to get dressed, but you got to pray in the car. You got to give God thanks for waking you. Excuse me, you don't know what you're going to meet on the road? You follow me? Okay, watch this. Had you ever considered a sacrifice? Now, a sacrifice is something that you need, want, or desire. So no matter how much you love to watch that television, talk on that phone, whatever, cut it. So, okay, Lord, I'm used to doing this here. I'm going to give you 30 minutes of this. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 30 minutes of this to show you how much I appreciate what you're doing in my life. And I talk about looking back down the line. Some of our kids got degrees on the wall up here. They don't even know where they come from down there. They don't even know where they come from. They don't know that a womb way back down here is what got them up here. They're ungrateful, snotty nose, arrogant. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all, okay. Y'all want me to hush, right? You better look at who's gonna be taking care of us. Them things cold. They're cold. You understand what I'm saying? They're cold. You gotta be careful now. They come to your house try to look through your papers. You mess around, wake up dead. Okay, let me come on from there. Brother Hills, can you give me one more verse?
I will take the coat of salvation and call upon the name of the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Watch this. Lord, because you've been so good to me, I'm going to give you something back. I'm going to give you some worship. I'm going to give you some praise. I'm going to exemplify you wherever I go. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to exemplify you wherever I go. Where your pulpit? Any place you at? Any place you at and you got some good news? Share it. Share it. Anybody in here still got something to whine about tonight? You ain't got nothing to whine about. And you know it's good when you see yourself and you can't whine. And Reverend Fishman and I talk a lot, and sometimes he don't know I carry the knife, and I don't stop cutting because he bleeds. And he had this thing where he come to Bible study every week because he got to look out for the dead. And he thought about Deacon and Sister A, and his excuse died. Y'all follow what I'm saying? His excuse died. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Amen. Don't you know it's a sacrifice for them to be here? So guess what our job is? Because we live right around the corner. Pray for them, safe, traveling. Y'all got what I'm saying? Right. Don't just think that everything is automatic. Right. How many weeks after weeks, years after years, God keep them on the road? Huh? Somebody got to say, thank you, Lord. Huh? And we are down to a low count now of elderly people we can look up to and give God thanks. And I'm going to guarantee you something. If you learn to sit at their feet, you can learn a lot. Hello? Okay. One more verse. I got to move.
I will pay my vow to the Lord. Now and always be.
What's that word? What's that key word? Y'all look at what's the key word in that verse? Huh? I will pay my what? Vows. That you vowed unto God, you ought to do it. Y'all got what I'm saying? Okay. Let me ask a question. Thank you, Brother Hills. I'm going to ask this one question right here. Okay. How many of you believe in paying tithes and offering? How should you pay it? How should you pay it? Huh? This ain't no trick question. How should you pay it? How much is your tithe? 10%. Huh?
10%.
The first 10% off the top. Okay. Rev, I checked. right? If you're going to write a check, write the check first for your tithes. Your first fruit, right? Your first fruit. If you do everything else you got to do first, and then come pay tithes, guess what? Your tithes are jacked up. Hello? Y'all look confused.
How you feeding rate?
You tithe, okay.
I know what I'm trying to say now. I paid all my bill, I write off my check one time.
Yes, ma'am. Right here is
And-
first.
And I ain't gonna tell you I
No,
write
no,
that
but-
first. When I get to that, and I write it.
No, but I'm just teaching.
Oh.
Right here is first. That's the first fruit. You follow what I'm saying? Right here is first. That's the first fruit. Y'all catching this? Oh, okay. Yeah, what's your question?
So, okay, I understand when you said that's the first fruit, but didn't it say in the Bible that you have to pay 10% of your earnings? So, rather I pay it first, or I pay it the fifth thing that I do, is then I'm still paying that 10%?
I'm gonna slow down one more time. I'm gonna slow down one more time. Here I am. I got my check, right? Right? I ain't even been to the bank yet. Because I know my check gonna be good, or my money in the bank. I'm gonna write God his first. That's called a first fruit. Y'all catching this? In your heart, in your mind, your intent ought to be give him his first. Y'all ain't catching this. Huh? Oh, I forgot to tell you. Just because you ain't come to church Sunday, that don't wipe out your tithes. Brother Haven, you see what I'm saying now? It's not, all I'm saying, you're going to write a check anyway, right?
I'm gonna write it here.
So write his first. That's all I'm saying. Write his first. That's where the first come in. When you do the first to him, you'll be amazed at what he does with the 90. Sometimes you can pay your bills, all of them. You got money left over. Y'all got what I'm saying? And the only way we're going to do that is start considering from the heart, not just the head, like you said, young buck. I know I got to do this, and I know I'm no. From the heart. And when you do it from the heart, it's in place. God honors that. You just had a question there where this woman gave what? How much?
2
mites.
2 mites or tenths or whatever she gave. She gave it from where? Mm-hmm. And yeah, and y'all stop reading too quick too. You should have read a little farther and see what happened after she gave them 2 mites. You follow me? So most of y'all young people will never catch up with this. But if you've been in the old school, let's say working in the cucumber field, 52 cents. You couldn't eat all the way you bought. That's a Dixie Cola, a sweet roll, and 2 slices of lunch meat. 52 cents. Y'all follow what I'm saying? That's why I said when you look back down the line, we should get in a hurry to do it the way God said to do it. You follow what I'm saying? First. Give them the first. Y'all got what I'm saying? Okay. And if you don't know how to do it, your wife will teach you. That's all I can tell you. Your wife will teach you if you don't know. All hearts are clear. Any questions before we move? I have one more scripture, but I'm gonna let it go. Can I get this next scripture? It's where my glasses at? Micah 6:3. When we get there, let's let this word talk to us personally. personally. Got it? Read for me.
For my people, live I down to thee, and learn have I learned testify against me.
Everybody caught it? Or y'all still looking? Y'all should know where that one at. And we've been working that one. Oh, my people, how have I wearied you? Testify against me. Is there anybody here could testify against God? Is there anybody? If you want to be honest, we could say, Lord, I had a few problems with you because it didn't work out like I wanted to work out. So I had a few problems with you. You let death come in my home. I got a few problems with you. You see what I'm saying? I lost my job. I got a few problems with you. You follow me? Y'all got what I'm saying? I'm sick in my body. I got a few problems with you, Lord. None of it is valid. Y'all all right? Amen. Take this hymn and find the origin of it. This is what I'm close with. Sunday message. Just as I am. It's an invitational hymn. When you look at the lady that wrote the hymn, was so bitter because she was sick. I want y'all to catch this now. She was so bitter that she was sick. She hated God. She hated her family. And one minister took the time to sit down and talk with her and transform her. And she wrote, Just as I am. And when she wrote, Just as I am, she wrote more hymns, about 150. Some were never published. She had over 1,000 letters from people that hymn changed the course of their life. You understand what I'm saying? She had a sickly life all her life, and she was bitter with God. But thank God, she didn't die bitter. She got Christ in her life, and where she thought she couldn't do anything, she helped raise money for schools and stuff with her writing. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Amen. Just as I am, without one plea, knowing that his blood that he shed for me, just as I am, oh Lord, I come. That's all I got for you tonight. And I thank God for each and every one of you in here tonight. And I want you all to know, these ain't just words. I'll be excited to get it. I'll be excited just to see y'all. Amen? Amen. And I pray that the love don't never die, and God can do great things with the remnants. And so we are the remnants now. God bless y'all.